Hi everyone, my name is Myiesha and I'm a Sephora Beauty Director.
And my name is Helen and I'm the National Artist for Sephora Collection.
And today we're going to be playing with some eyeshadow palettes from Sephora Collection, the I Love Bloom palettes, which are beautiful. They come in all these different colors and we are going to play with them and try on a couple different ones.
Okay, so I'm so excited about these palettes. They're brand new and they're all flower themed. So let's just dive into like the different shades because I feel like some are for different skin tones. So this one is lilac and it has this really beautiful tone. What I like about these palettes is that they have tons of neutrals, but they also have like the one like hint of color. So this one has that like hint of purpley like mauve shade, so it kind of nods to the lilac shade.
I really liked the last one, so I'm very excited for an update because I was using those like day in and day out and I needed something new.
Same.
I
love them, but I have like big belly button holes.
I know,
in all of mine.
exactly.
Like,
so yeah, Helen was telling me that these are going to be like trend based. There's always going to be new ones coming out, so I'm very excited even for the next ones. But I really like these. Dahlia, I haven't done a smoky eye in a while, but this is really pretty. And like Helen said, they're not called out to be like, you know, for medium skin or deeper skin, but you can kind of see, like, usually I just tell people to match to the transition shade. Like if that kind of just blends into your skin, like that's probably the shade that would be the most natural on you. But like Helen could still wear this and do like a really pretty smoky eye and it'd be really nice. But this is so pretty.
I think Dahlia is the one I used in the campaign. So if you go into stores, you'll see that
so
one on the
nice.
girl and the model. It's really beautiful.
And then violet, I love purple. This is kind of like more of a cool tone, like icy violet. So if you're not someone who's like super into color, like that would be really pretty.
I feel like they're all subtle. It's like they're all just really wearable. And I feel like pinks and like these like the new neutrals, if you will, like the light pinks and the light purples are kind of, they're just in, and it's just easy way to incorporate color into your look. This one is called Peony. I love peonies. My neighbor, I'm from the South, and my neighbor calls them peonies. And so I always call them peonies. But this is just a really great one, great for fair skin because it has like a lot of the neutrals that are just like really great for fair skin. You don't want to put that on somebody who's too deep, but they have some really great shimmers as well. So I like this because it has like the mattes to give you that depth, and then you can also add in the shimmer if you need a little extra shine.
Yeah, I use them as highlighters too. I've been kind of like, if I'm not wearing makeup for work, it's pretty minimal. So I think like chamomile, is that the one you're gonna?
This one's peony. Do you have chamomile? I have chamomile.
Yeah,
I have chamomile.
I've been wearing chamomile because this is so like bright and fresh, and it's super neutral. Yeah,
I love this, and it has like a hint of green in there, like that olivey tone. I mean, it's just like very subtle, but I do really love this palette because it just has that like hint of yellow in it, like nod to chamomile. But
yeah, I feel like the past couple years have been like very orangey eyeshadows and like rusty red. So if you just want something totally different than that, chamomile is really nice. And then last but not least,
speaking of rusties,
marigold. I think this is the one I'm going to use today because it's kind of, you know, these kind of all blend into my skin tone really nicely. It has that really pretty gold and then like a nice neutral brown. So I think I'm going to go with this, but I was definitely debating between marigold or chamomile.
Yeah. I think marigold's the way to go.
Yeah.
I think it's so pretty. I'm gonna do peony. Peony. I almost said it wrong. Okay. So for peony, I always like to just dive into the lightest shade or whatever shade's gonna match my skin tone the most. And I only do this as like a protective measure to make sure that I don't take my eyeshadow too high because I don't have a lot of space to work with. So I always kind of start there. What are you gonna start with?
I think I'm gonna do the same thing. I have two different size crease brushes, one for kind of like all over color and one for definition, the 26 and the 24.
Yeah, I have 27. It's very fluffy, but I like it because I don't want too much powder. I also like this formula. They redid the formula a little bit, and so it's just like less fallout. It really does stick. It's really smooth and easy to blend. And this is great, especially if you're like me and you have red lids and you need to neutralize that. This color is really great for that. And I like that they give you the biggest one.
I know, the one you're going to use. And you can kind of use it, like I would say if you're still debating, the one you can just seamlessly blend into your skin is probably the one you're going to use. Like I can even take the transition shade and like set my under eye if I want to because it just looks like a nothing color, which is great when you're blending stuff. So I think I'm just going to kind of start with the transition and kind of go over until I like the depth of the crease. That's usually the easiest way for me to do it.
I'm gonna do the next one, this is a little bit darker than my skin tone, so I'm gonna test that out and see how that works with a different brush, because I wanna get more of a color payoff with that. And I always feel like this is like similar to my skin tone, but I bet you it's so much darker. Let's see.
Yeah, that's what I noticed with the last formula, which I really, really liked, or the last palettes, is all the colors were super rich. So if you look at it and it looks a little bit light, it's gonna be much richer when you put it on, so you have a little bit more versatility.
Yeah. Actually, that's like a little darker than my skin tone, maybe just like one shade.
Yeah.
But you know, this is a great everyday eye palette. If you need something that's gonna just be an easy, you don't have to think about it look, these are great for that. And they just give you like a little something extra for spring and summer. I like the colors.
I could just go straight into that color, that darker brown, but I think the easiest way to do it when you're, you know, first learning how to blend is to start from lightest to darkest and trying to work your way up, because you can't really make a mistake that way.
And even if you know how to blend, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm like, no, do this, lightest to darkest. You will never go wrong.
Yeah, because with matte colors, you can't kind of go backwards. You can't really cover anything up. So now I'm working on that deeper color.
When black smoky eyes were in, it was such a challenge to make that. I was like, okay, I'll just start with black, and then I could never blend.
I think purple was the hardest thing for me growing up. I always looked like I had a black eye because it was everywhere.
And purples you can go so wrong with, because if they're like a little red, then you can look like you really do have a black eye.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So that actually looks, you know, pretty neutral. I'm gonna put a little bit underneath. I mean, I could honestly stop here, but I think I want to add a little color because I love that hint of color. Oh, and the peony kind of goes with my outfit. I did not plan that, actually.
I know. I think I like this brown because it kind of matches my lipstick. I'm wearing that Working Girl shade from Melt, and it's kind of orange. So I like that. Now I'm just kind of deepening and adding more kind of from the corner and dragging it in.
Okay, I'm going to go in with the second or third shade, I guess now. So this is my crease color. I'm going to go in with that like peachy pink tone. The peony shade is what I like to call it, but it's probably
the pop shade.
Yeah, the pop shade, exactly. And I always just look directly in the mirror when I do my like crease color, because I don't have a ton of room to work with when I do my eyes, so I need to know exactly where that crease is and how high I want to go with it. And then from there I can usually deepen that crease. I also have like a slightly deeper set eye, so it's not important that I like get the depth right in the crease. It just makes it so you can see it.
Yeah, I think it's always best to like look straight in the mirror, because if you contort your face too much, it's gonna look totally different.
And relax your brow. I always go like this when I do my eye makeup, and it's gonna have a hot mess if you do that, so don't do that. Relax your brow. I feel like I'm constantly, when I do people's makeup, I always say that. Relax your brow.
My mom is probably the worst client I have ever had. I have to give her a facial massage so she can open her eyes because she's so stressed out. But
she's
yeah,
like, I'm relaxed.
So what I'm doing now is I just switched to the smaller crease brush, the number 24, because smaller brush, smaller area. And I'm taking that same dark brown, or it's like a medium brown actually, but it's the darkest one in the palette. And I'm just kind of adding a little bit on the bottom. I always feel like I have to do about 50% of what I do on the top on the bottom so it doesn't look naked. It just gives it a little bit of something.
That's a good guideline.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone's doing that like tired eye makeup. I've been doing that for like 10 years. I like kind of like to look.
It does make the puffs go away.
Yeah, if you have puffiness, you just smoke the entire puff.
Yes.
That sounds really bad.
You know,
yeah, if you have puffiness, it's like just smoke the entire like sort of
if you
area.
Smoke out that whole
and
area,
it's gonna disappear. If someone has puffy eyes, or maybe they were like, you know, were teary right before they sat down with me, I'll just do a full smoke. It goes away. You can't see it, but I just do the outer corner because this is more like an everyday thing that I would do.
I'm kind of doing the same thing. So I'm going in now with a bit of this. I'm actually mixing these two shades because this is a little dark. I don't want it to be too smoky, but you can see like from this eye, I put a little bit on, and I haven't done this eye yet. I have a puff when I smile. So it's better to just cover that with something dark. So if you think about like sculpting, whenever you're sculpting like, or putting something dark, it's gonna make it kind of fall to the background. So that's the same way that I always think about eyeshadow. I'm like, you would be surprised. You can drop your eyeshadow pretty low without it looking like a panda.
And if it does, you just put a lash on. You can't even tell.
Exactly. Slap a little concealer on. You're going to be good.
So I like kind of a brighter lid. That's my preference. So I'm going to go with this champagne color as opposed to the gold. I could do the gold, but today I want kind of an easy look. So I'm just going to take the champagne color and put on my lid.
I'm intensifying the peony shade because I do feel like it's just a little pale, so I want it to show up a little. So I do feel like this is kind of, it's not smoky, but it is like a more intense everyday eye. Like I want it to show. An everyday eye would just be me throwing on like one shadow.
An everyday eye would be me putting sunscreen on my eyelids.
There we go.
Yeah. I like to go pretty high with my highlight shade because I have less lid space on this side. So it like makes my eyelids look a little bit bigger.
I forgot another brush, so I'm just going to use the same tiny brush. And same thing, champagne shade. And I only load the very tip of the brush so that I'm not getting it everywhere. I have a birthmark on this side, so I definitely don't want to like highlight that, make it look textured or anything like that. And then I just pop it in on this inner corner. Just make sure that you really blend it out. It is my pet peeve when you don't have that like area blended, when it's
the
just like
inner corner. Oh my god, it's my
and when people do their
when it's
highlight
really
like
huge and it's not blended.
Yeah, exactly. Like the whole inner corner. I'm like, no, just take your finger and like mush it with your finger just a little to make it soften a little bit. So definitely take some time to soften it. If you're going to use mostly mattes and then a little bit of like something shimmer or highlight, make sure you take the time to blend that and soften it. It does make a difference.
So I think I'm all done. I just kind of did a light lid. This is sort of what I would do every day with like bronzer and highlighter, but it's actually going to stay put because it's eyeshadow. And I really like this shade. This brown was so pretty.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Thank you.
So what I love about these palettes is that you can really take them. I know people always say like day to night. It's annoying, but truly like I feel like this is mostly a daytime palette, but I do like how you can have like a little bit of a disco moment if you want and put on, you know, a little bit of extra shimmer if you want. It's really easy to do a halo style eye, so if you love to have that highlight right in the center, this is a really easy palette to do that style with too. It's just really versatile and something that you can just carry. It's very slimline and it's $14 for 7 eyeshadows, which is incredible.
Yeah, I like to tell people to kind of collect these because they're affordable. Like sometimes you can't afford to collect a $50 palette, but $14, you can get all 6 if you want to. You can get 2 that you like.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier, so I really like these.
I love them. I think that, lilac and peony are my 2 favorite, and I always carry them with me whenever I travel, so it's a good way to like just have a hint of color.
So we are gonna finish off our look with a little bit of eyeliner because I just feel like every eye look needs this look a little bit of liner. And we're gonna use this Makeup Forever Aqua Resist color pencil, and this is in the shade Ebony, which is like a really deep brown, which I think would be really nice. I tend to go for browns opposed to blacks because I think it looks a little softer.
Yeah, especially for anybody who's blonde. Go for a brown shade, even if it's dark brown. Makes a big difference. I do feel like eyeliner makes all the difference when it comes to like doing my makeup and making like my lashes look thicker. And just like giving you definition.
I feel like people underestimate what brown can do. I'm just being weird and using the back of the eye. There's no smudger on the eyeliner. I just use the back of it to smudge it when.
Oh my gosh.
I don't feel like getting a brush.
That's a genius.
I do this all the time.
I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that. Wait, I want to try that.
It just moves it around a little bit, like when you.
That's so funny. I just use my pinky, but you know.
My nails are too long. I think that's probably why.
Oh, there you go. That's why.
But these are also exclusive to Sephora, as a lot of Makeup Forever stuff is. And I feel like I've been using Makeup Forever eyeliner for like 15 years, and it's never done me wrong. It's always been like super long lasting.
This is a new one. But it's great. It's just a great like twist up pencil. And it does have the sharpener built in, which I do appreciate.
Yeah, it's just twist.
I appreciate that.
So don't sharpen it, because I know somebody has, because I do that with certain pencils, but yeah.
That has this little sharpener.
And we're gonna add a little bit of mascara. I have some leftover clusters from birthday weekend that haven't come out yet. So I'm just gonna do it on my little fine baby lashes in the inner corner and the lower. And we're gonna use the Pat McGrath Labs Dark Star Mascara, which is like an all-purpose thickening, lengthening, defining mascara.
I feel like you turned me on to this mascara. I'm a mascara
It's
junkie.
really, really good. I just love an hourglass shaped brush. I feel like I have just very fine lashes. They don't really do much. So I need like a brush that like grips them like a round brush.
Yeah. Pat McGrath Labs just makes some really beautiful products. And obviously this gold like shiny shiny thing is just so pretty to have in your bag, but it's exclusively carried at Sephora. So if you can't find it, it's because you need to go to Sephora.com. What I like about it is that it starts off like very fluffy natural. Like you have the versatility to just do some like really fluffy lashes. But then as you like add coat after coat, it just gets longer and thicker. It's so pretty. You could really play with this mascara.
Yeah, I think this is probably the most like playfully dramatic mascara that she has.
Yeah.
Like you can build with it.
I really like it too because it does give you that everyday lash right off the bat. Which, that's what I'm looking for. I don't want super thick lashes today. And I always like bounce back in between from like top to bottom, just because once it dries up top a little bit, then it's like ready for another coat.
Because you can get more and more and
yeah,
more.
It just builds forever. I mean, I could be here all day. I'm obsessed with mascara. If anybody looks at my makeup drawer, it's mostly mascara. It's crazy. So I'm done with my mascara finally, and yours looks great. I love it in the bottom lashes. Looks really good. And yeah, that's just a simple look.
Yeah, I really love that we're showcasing the I Love palettes, and this is the Bloom collection because I just always love these. I find they're so easy, like they're so nice to travel with. I've dropped these many times. They do not crack, which I really love.
Yeah.
Again, they're not like specifically pointed out to different skin tones, but you can kind of like look at the transition shades and choose from there. I think that's really helpful. Or just get like whichever one you're into. Like Dahlia looks amazing on everybody because it's like those deep, rich, smoky colors. And they're $14, which is really nice. I always feel really good recommending these to people because I know they won't have sticker shock when they see that $14. So I think this is great.
And you won't get crazy fallout. Like they stay on, which is really nice. And I think we are in full bloom now with our I Love Bloom palettes on. Please let us know which ones you want to try in the comments below.
Yeah, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. Everyone.